This is a Fox News alert. Right now, tense nuclear talks with Iran are still going on. The State Department announcing the talks will now extend at least until tomorrow. That is despite the original deadline that passed about 90 minutes ago. Meanwhile, as the U.S. sits at the bargaining table with the Iranian foreign minister, a U.S. Marine sits behind bars in an Iranian prison, the most dangerous Iranian prison. The Iranian-American Marine has been jailed for more than 3 years. Joining us with more with this Marine story is Marine veteran and talk show host Montel Williams. Nice to see you, Montel.
Good to see you again, Greta. And this is so perfect that we're together on this issue because you and I will be the first people to again let a country know that we have one of our own being held, this time one being held for over 1,300 days. 1,300 days in the worst prison in the world, being tortured. And we don't know about him. And why? Because some might say he's an Iranian American. No. He is an American, born here in Arizona, served with honor and distinction in the Marine Corps, fought against the Iraqis in Iraq, and just because he wanted to go visit his grandmother who is dying, he flies in Iran on a visa and is arrested and then charged with spying for the United States government, sentenced to death. They overturned his death sentence, and now they have him in jail for 10 years, supposedly, for assisting a foreign government because they're treating him as if he's an Iranian. Listen to me. This is one of the most ridiculous things that's happened, I think, since we talked about getting Andrew out of prison because he was in Mexico being held illegally. This young man is being held illegally. And, you know, look, I don't know what's going on in the inner workings of the State Department, but I do know for a fact after reaching out and talking to members of, you know, Amir's family that our State Department is not talking to them. So we don't know what's going on. So I'm going to beg people real quick before, I know you got to ask, real quick, please, hashtag free Amir now. Start blasting this tonight so that by tomorrow morning when these discussions get ready to come to an end, we don't leave another Marine behind.
Montel, is there some video or some recording that he made?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we have a recording. We've provided it to you today. He renounced his Iranian citizenship. Now, let me explain this before people listen to it. He had to get a passport to fly into Iran to see his dying grandmother. 2 months after on the ground, they arrest him and charge him. He's not an Iranian. He's a United States citizen. But the Iranian government's treating him as if he's Iranian just because of Iranian blood. So he had to go through this process of denouncing and renouncing his Iranian citizenship to see if he can get another government like Pakistan or somebody to step in and see if they can help him, which I think is really ridiculous.
All right, well, I think we have the audio. Let's play it.
Sure.
It has become very clear to me that those responsible view Iranian Americans not as citizens or even human beings, but as bargaining chips and tools for propaganda. Considering how little value the Ministry of Intelligence places on my Iranian citizenship and passport, I, too, place little value on them and inform you effective immediately that I firmly renounce my Iranian citizenship and passport.
So, was he an Iranian citizen?
Well, he's a dual citizen. He was born in Arizona, went to high school here, was going to go to college here, joined the Marine Corps here. The only way he could go to see his dying grandmother was to ask for a passport. So he's multiracial, so he said, okay, look, I'll get that passport. He told them he was coming to see his grandmother, Greta. I mean, this was all on paper. They allowed him to come in the country just so they could do this to him. Remember, this is a Marine who fought against Iraq. They know that in his history. They've been holding him along with some other Americans, but I think this is being holding him more so because, number one, they can use him more as a bargaining chip because this is a former Marine. And that's the reason why they're doing this.
Do we have any information about his condition? I know he's being held in the worst prison. Does he have communication with his family? The State Department visiting him?
The State Department, we don't know what's going on.
Well,
They've not allowed any other officials to. He spoke to his mother up until about 2 months ago when he was on a hunger strike. They finally allowed him phone calls. For 3.5 years, this man has been tortured. Greta, he's been put in 3x3 cells. He has been whipped on his feet. He's been addicted to drugs so that they can torture him through his withdrawal. This has been happening for 3.5 years, and there's not a person in this country knows that a U.S. Marine has been sitting there in prison this long. And I think this is an abomination, be honest with you. Look, I don't expect them to call me, but I expect them to tell the country that we do what we promise. We leave no soldier behind. Find out how many people are going to sign up the next time we want to go to war when we keep doing this to those who have fought to protect us.
All right. One more time, tell people what they should do.
I need you, please, tonight, hashtag Free Amir Now. Hashtag Free Amir Now. We'll get this show. At least it'll be part of the discussion before Secretary Kerry leaves Iran and leaves these discussions at the table tomorrow.
All right. Montel, he's lucky to have you in